Okay, so I'm gonna make a short video, hopefully short, about a few things that are involved in quote unquote making it in Hollywood. If anybody knows anything about this opening scene here, which we will go through many of them. This is the opening scene in Tombstone. Very good movie, well done, well shot. Val Kilmer's character, especially of Doc Holliday, was very well played out. I give him much props on it. But we'll just go through a few clips of this movie and others, and we'll see that there's a general theme here. Now, Ringo has just shot a priest in the head, and he's gonna explain to Curly Bill Brocious, who is the leader of the Cowboys at the time, what the man was talking about. Okay, so let's take a listen to the clip and we'll add some context to it. Alright, so let's take a listen.
Hey, Johnny, what a misconvene a sick horse is gonna get us, huh?
It's quoting the Bible. Revelations. Behold, a pale horse. The man who sat on him was death. And hell followed with him.
Okay, so he said he was quoting Revelation. The part about the four horsemen, obviously, he was quoting with regards to the pale rider, the one on the pale horse, who was death, sorry, and hell followed with him. In my view, there is a shot that has it kind of broken down, and it looks like the four guys in the back are the four horsemen, and of course they also have a leader, which would be Wyatt Earp. But we'll get to that clip later on. Let's just check out another clip, and we'll get some more context. All right. Okay, now not to go off topic, but it's always, kind of concerned me that the sheriff's badges and the shield and stuff like that, it's always in the shape of a star. I don't know if anybody knows why that is, but it's kind of weird that they would use a star and then witches or Satanists would use a star as well. It just seems too much of a coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences. But anyway, you take a look at this shot, you'll see Kurt is up front, and he's speaking to one of the cowboys, telling him that their time has come to an end. You'll see he's in the foreground, and there are four guys in the back, the four horsemen. And then he's gonna, not verbatim, but he's gonna add to what Ringo was talking about in the same manner. So let's take a listen.
It says United States Marshal.
Why? Please don't kill me.
Take a good look at
See
it,
it?
Mike.
Four guys
That's
in the
how
back.
you're gonna end up. The Cowboys are finished, you understand me? I see a red sash, I'd kill a man wearing it. So run.
There you go.
Cur. Run! Tell all the other curs the law's coming. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Okay, you heard it for yourself. Hell is coming with me. Okay, so it's obvious that the four guys in the back are supposed to be the four riders, and Kurt Russell is their leader. Although he's, supposedly the good guy in this movie. But after his brother is killed, and another one is, he loses use of his arm, he turns things around, and he's really out for blood. So we'll take a look at another clip, and we'll get some more context from following clips. Okay, let's take a look. Now, if you've seen this movie before, you'll know that Doc Holliday's character is very ill. During the course of the movie, he's referred to as a lunger several times. Obviously, he's dealing with tuberculosis, which does not take away from his skill as a gunman, obviously, but it's going to be addressed here as to why is he out there helping Wyatt. And the response is interesting, but the person making note of it is who we should be paying attention to. The person who actually asked the question, and I'll pause for a minute so you will understand what I'm saying. All right, so let's take a look.
Doc, short of being dead, what the hell are you doing this for anyway?
Wad Up is my friend.
Hell, I got lots of friends.
I don't.
Okay, so Doc Holliday just admitted that he doesn't have a lot of friends. Wyatt Earp is his friend, and even though he's probably on the verge of, having the second foot in the grave, that's why he's out there. But let's take a little look at the gentleman who asked the question. Take a look at an article of clothing, specifically what he's wearing around his neck. And his comment was, I got a lot of friends. And that's what you need. If you think about going to Hollywood, you do need a lot of friends in that era, or in that arena, I should say, that line of work, that business. Okay, so let's take a look.
I don't. Wad Up is my friend.
Do you see it? Can you see what he has around his neck? Now, this guy specifically said he has a lot of friends. Gotta remember, everything in this shot, in this movie, was put there for a reason. The script was written a certain way for a reason. And he's saying this at this specific time for a reason. Never let these things escape you. Okay? Never look at a movie and just say, oh, what a coinky dink. No. Everything is there for a reason. Even the so-called Easter eggs that they place in movies. They're there for a reason. Subliminally to send a message. Okay, so let's take a look at another clip. So this is one of the earlier clips where essentially Doc Holliday, Ringo, Curly Bill, and Wyatt Earp first have their encounter. And Doc Holliday's character is going back and forth with his woman about Johnny Ringo, asking her if she thinks that he should hate him. Why? Because he said there's something about him that reminds him of him. Okay. Now, mind you, everybody there is, we're all talking back and forth in English. These two characters proceed to speak in Latin. Okay. So essentially, only the two of them are going to know what is being said to each other, and the two of them are the only ones that are going to have an understanding. Now, the message here is also clear. There are things that will be said between parties that will only be for them to understand, and the masses will have no idea what's going on. That's part and parcel of being in the business. There are things that will be divulged to you as an inside person, an illuminated person, and other people are not supposed to know. So let's take a look at it and add some context to this statement.
And Vino Veritas.
Age Coragis.
Creda Judas Sotella non ego.
Juventus Stuttorum. Magistat.
facile requiescata.
Come on,
See
boy.
Ringo's face?
We don't want any trouble in here, not in any language.
Sheriff said, "Come on, boys. We don't want any trouble in here. Not in any language." So the two of them just had a short convo where only the opposite person knows what the other person is saying. And everybody else is like, what the hell is going on? Now, listen to the statement that Doc Holliday's character makes right after.
Us Latin doll. Evidently, Mr. Ringo's an educated man. Now I really hate him.
That line was classic. He said, evidently, Mr. Ringo is an educated man. Now I really hate him. Okay? So this guy who's an apparent gunslinger, degenerate murderer, happens to be well read, illuminated, a dabbler in languages, you know. Who at that time would really know Latin? Except somebody who had been properly schooled, properly groomed. Now, yes, he decided to turn to a life of crime, but let's think about what the implication of that line really is. Okay? Let's really think about that. You know, some things they require you to, you know, put your thinking cap on. Pay attention. Okay, some of y'all attention bill is way past due. Y'all ain't paid it in a long time. Y'all need to pay some attention to these things. Alright, let's check out another clip. Okay, now from where the clip is right now, you might not recognize the movie, but we're going to move on to another movie. And it's going to be very interesting to see this character as he takes the stage as someone else. Remember, that's effectively what actors do. They're a bunch of liars, you know. They pretend to be other people on screen. Some of them are very good at it, and, you know, we give them credit for it. But, of course, again, this is part and parcel of being in Hollywood. This is one of the things that you see in certain characters, and you know that they are at a certain level. Okay? You see them do things, and you're like, wow, why is that? You know, that's like a weird role, or, you know, weird thing for this guy to do in this situation. But, okay? So let's take a look at it. Let's add some context to what we're talking about. Alright, so let's play this one. Now, who is that? Ain't that, Mr. In Hell's Coming With Me? Ain't that him? In some pumps and some leather?
Hey, Red. Aerobics instructor,
Yeah,
huh?
who's this moron?
Hey, Bud, get your hands off my property.
I mean, with that facial structure, really, bro?
Any,
Come on now.
chance of a three-way?
Any chance of a three? What is it? Dykes on bikes. I guess a joke like that right now would be inappropriate because people are so damn sensitive. But anyways, let's take a look at another one. Along the lines of this same thing. Okay, because we talking about Kurt Russell. He been in the business for a long time. Alright. Big star, has big blockbuster action movies. You know, he been in the business. But here, although a short, very short scene, he's in full drag. Where they do that at? In Hollywood. That's where. There's something else you gotta be willing to get down with. So let's take a look at another clip. Now, anyone who knows me will tell you that I also love my foreign films, my karate or kung fu, Bruce Lee, Chow Yun Fat, Bolo, you name it. Growing up, I never missed my either Saturday night matinee or Sunday afternoon kung fu theater. That's for real. Like I really like those movies since I was young. So this is from director Chow, not Chow Yun Fat, sorry, Stephen Chow, and it apart from this one, I also really liked Kung Fu Hustle. Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, two of my favorites of his earlier work, obviously. Now we're talking about many thousand miles across the sea, okay, from Kurt Russell. And obviously not part of Hollywood, or so you might think, so you might be led to believe. But let's see if the same things are at work here. Let's take a look at this clip, and if you've seen this movie, obviously you know what clip I'm going to. So let's take a look. The hell is that? Huh? Damn. Nasty. Okay, so that clip was so gross on so many levels. I don't even go into detail, but as you can see, same thing, and it's, you know, so-called Asian. All right, but as I said, to make it on a big screen, there are things that you're gonna have to be willing to do. You're gonna have to get down with the program, and certain aspects of it are as you just saw. Okay, so two completely different genres, different directors from seas across from each other, but you see the exact same thing. All right, let's take a look at another clip. Okay, now here's another movie which will talk about the symbolism within the movie itself. And I know it's a bit blurry right now and his face is blocked off, but the blurred object, or the one that's more blurred, this is what we're going to take a look at and tie it in with a couple more things. So this character here is of course supposed to be a superhero, right? The bird, supposedly an eagle or falcon-headed god, as in, you know what a falcon-headed god is, Horus, okay? Relating to eye that was taken out during battle, relating to having one eye, i.e. the eye on the back of your dollar bill, the all-seeing eye. Okay, and even in the movie Gods of Egypt, they showed you that even with one eye, how much strength that his character had. So this is, you know, a symbolism to this guy who can fly. And we all know that flight is one of this character's, you know, primary abilities. Yes, he has superhuman strength, obviously, but he is, for all intents and purposes, the prince of the power of the air. Okay, because it's just him and this other character, female, and they're the only two ones living on Earth, according to her. All the others have paired up and died, but they're the only two with powers, and he's the so-called protector. So we're going to take a look at the clip. Now at first you can't really see too much what it is that they're showing you. It comes into focus a little bit, you know, but then it's like you can't really make it out. They show you just for a hot second, and then it's blurred out. So I'm like, Okay, why? But you know why? Because he's not wearing the hat. And there's blurred again. So in the beginning, when he was laying on the bench, they showed it to you. But it was like turned down. He had it on his head. Okay? I'm just saying, like, it's as plain as day, but you have to pay attention to it. You have to know what you're looking for. Okay? So let's take a look at another clip. Okay, so after finding out who this woman really is, here we see them having a meeting at the trail, and as you can see, now the bird is pictured rather clearly. It does have a sharp beak, wings, but if you notice, it's like the wings don't really go. It almost looks like a head, right? With wings on the back that are sort of not complete. It doesn't really look like a bird. It looks like a bust that is not complete. So the head, wings in the back, and imagine that bell area right below is where the neck should be, and then imagine larger wings. That's what I can see from that, because that, what bird would look like that? You know, like, in all seriousness, if you have the movie, take a look at it and think about what I'm saying. All right, but she's gonna make a couple of statements when they go in, and there's some things that they show that are interesting that you should take note of as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick.
Well, I'm here.
And notice the black and white. Okay, the duality.
You want to do it?
Want to do what?
Do what?
I asked myself that same question when she said it, so he's not alone.
Okay. You want?
Okay, let's move forward a little bit once they go in. Okay, so they're going to have a little convo in the trailer. He's going to ask her a couple of questions. And we'll take note of the things that are in the trailer and see who this character really is. Alright, they'll make allusions to certain characters. And if you're wise, you can figure it out. If you're just looking at the movie, you will not get it. That's the thing. If you're just looking and not paying attention, you won't get it. So check it out. What's the first thing they show? Saturn, right? Then they're going to show the tickets for Frankenstein, which is a guy made from really dead people, so, from the dead. And here she's also saying that she's stronger than him, okay? Reverence to the mother goddess. Then they just showed what I believe to be a demon, or an angel of light, and we know who that is. That's Lucifer. Okay? There's a lot being shown here. And all these are visual clues that most people don't pick up. But they're there for a reason. Please understand that these people spend boatloads of money on these movies. They're not just throwing things on set just because. Everything on set is there for a purpose, to convey a message, and it's there to be part of the theme, along with the script, obviously, what they're talking about. And let me just play what she said so you can get some context when I refer to Saturn, who is Satan. Okay, listen to what she says, and then I'll play another clip to confirm it. Something completely different, along the same lines, but you will see what I'm talking about is indeed correct.
Are there more of us?
Let's just listen real quick and see what she says. Now listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm way stronger than you. Okay? Who are we?
Gods.
Gods?
Angels.
angels.
Different cultures call us by different names. Now all of a sudden it's superhero.
Now all of a sudden it's superheroes. Okay, now that's going to lead to my next clip. And take into consideration what I'm saying about Saturn, about the drawing on the wall, and about Frankenstein being, raised from the dead. Alright, let's take a look at another clip. So, this is really funny because when I heard this, I knew that I had to put it in this video. Here, Superman and Wonder Woman are having a conversation with regards to what has just transpired. This is Justice League War, and they have defeated Darkseid and his minions. Obviously, they're on stage being presented with, various accolades, being recognized by the public, etc., etc. Listen to what Wonder Woman says. Superman has just said they think we're a team, but we're not a team. And we're going to pick it up right there and listen to what Wonder Woman says. Now, this is what kids are watching. This is who these so-called superheroes are being equated to. Pay attention.
But I am pleased to meet some folks who get me.
Yes, it was good to walk among a pantheon again.
The Pantheon.
Hades, Apollo, Hermes, Hephaestus, Zeus, each a god in their own right.
And me?
I have never met anyone like you, Superman. God or mortal.
Okay, so she just equated each of these characters to one of those quote-unquote Greek gods. And now the so-called Superman is above any quote-unquote god that Wonder Woman knows of. Alright, this is why, there's so many videos out there on YouTube talking about these things and, telling you to be careful what you allow your kids to watch and, things of that nature. It's because all these messages are out there, different forms of media, whether it be and aimed at different targets, whether it be for the kids, whether it be for adults. From the time the kids are small, they have these things being put out there to indoctrinate them. So forget about, the end of the world and, God coming to judge. No, we'll have Superman, Batman, Green Lantern and the likes save us. This is what this comic is saying. Now, of course, we know nothing could be more preposterous. But what if some people had the ability to create a quote-unquote Captain America using some sort of serum or something? And that's one of the things that I did not address in one of the previous clips from our Shaolin Soccer, where Team Evil, the way he was, the coach was getting these guys to have superpowers was by having his team take this serum and juicing them up. Okay, but I mean, they lost anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, let's take a look at another clip. Okay, so we have another clip here where these other quote-unquote entities, gods, lowercase g's, will be addressed, and we'll hear this character who has apparently returned from the dead and is being chased by this guy in human form, but he's actually Anubis, guardian or quote-unquote shepherd of the deceased. Okay, so this is a chase scene where Anubis is trying to get this guy back to hell, where he belongs, obviously. And this is this guy's response, obviously played by Nick Cage. So let's take a listen.
You think you're
Loki? Huh? You think you're Baron Samedi? I won't allow that.
Again, what makes you think you have a choice?
This does.
What makes you think you have a choice? The God Killer. That bullet ain't even touching. Just the aura from the bullet just cut into his skin. Now, of course, he knows he's not gonna die, so he's cool with it. He's about to crash, and he's just holding his stern, like, doop de doop, doop de doop de doop doop. Okay, but he asked him if he thinks he's Loki or Baron Samedi. Okay, Baron Samedi is part of the voodoo culture. Loki obviously is part of the Norse culture, with Thor and Odin and all of them. But it's funny because he also makes another reference to it towards the end, and let's take a look at another clip. All right. Okay, so here's the clip I was talking about, and you'll hear what this guy says with regards to the entity that was chasing him, which is supposedly Anubis. But you will hear who he asked him, does he think he is, along with a couple of the comments. So take a listen.
Even in hell, there is compassion.
Even in hell, there is compassion. And we know the Bible teaches that the truth is exactly opposite. So if anyone out there thinks that they're gonna go to Hollywood, have a grand old time, do all these despicable and heinous things, and there will be compassion for them when they're burning, think again. Never gonna happen. Okay? And they say it's a place of punishment, burning, and fire. That's all it is. There is no compassion. Alright? So, let's continue the clip. And he is drinking out of Jonah Hill's skull.
No, I don't plan on staying.
Milton, you got what you wanted.
I did. But if he puts me back in that hole, I'll still get out.
If who puts him back in that hole?